Hello, everybody. I'm gonna say I'll say Happy New Year. By the time you see this video, it will be well past the New Year. Um, it's January 4th as I'm doing this audio. I'm actually filming this a few days after. About a week after I filmed it. I'm recording the audio about a week after I film it. This is episode 17, How to Draw Noses, part 2. So if you remember, in part 1, I just went over kind of some of the basics and some of the anatomy of how to draw the nose. This video is part 2 of how to draw noses. It's more like going to be just a demonstration on some more nose angles and some more nose types. More so, it's going to just be that more than okay, step 1, do this, step 2, do this. We already went over that in the first nose video. So here I'm just obviously what I ended up doing actually was I needed a bunch of nose reference, and I couldn't really find anything decent that, like, usually, I don't know if you struggle with this, but if you look for reference and you look for a reference on what you need, and then you end up searching for an hour and you don't find what you're looking for. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this series, is because not only do I want to get better with this, but I want to teach the body in a way that is simple enough so we can draw it without looking at anything. Because trying to find reference all the time is really kind of annoying. And I don't want to have to look at reference every single time I need, or I don't want to have to go online to find reference. So, not that I wouldn't need reference, but I guess what I meant was, for this video, I took my own reference photos. Sorry, I got a drink. I took my own reference photos because I looked all over the internet and I just wasn't liking what I was seeing. And I mean, that's just how it goes. When you need a reference photo and you go online and you're like, well, that's not exactly what I want. And so I just was like, whatever, I'm just going to take my own pictures. So all the noses I'm drawing are pictures that I took of myself. So pictures I took of my own nose. So even if you need reference, it doesn't matter. Just take your own photos sometimes. It's more creative anyway than trying to sit online and look for a reference all the time. So I ended up taking like 15 or 16 photos of different angles of my nose, and that's what I'm drawing. What I ended up doing was I printed them out on my printer, and then I'm just drawing them on the page for an example for you. So I took my own photos, so it's not like I found them on Google. So as you can tell here, I'm basically just starting with that pyramid triangular shape like I mentioned in the last video. It's a really good way to just get the nose in there, and that's what I'm doing here. So I've got 5 of them done. I think I could do a few more on this page, and then I know I do another row of them on this page, and then I do another row on another page. But so I mean, noses are still tough. I mean, it's really something you really should practice as often as you can. It's it's weird because it's not that difficult, but at the same time, it is a complicated shape. Like, so, just keep practicing them and keep practicing with, the methods that I gave you in the first video. And here I'm showing you that I'm drawing the bridge first, and then I'm drawing the triangular shape, and then I'm adding the ball of the nose. And anyway, I'm trying to follow the process that I've already set up in the previous videos. And I gotta be honest, this one was kind of boring. The nose video. I don't know. I was just a little bit bored with it, but this is the kind of practice we have to do to become better artists. You have to do the boring stuff. You have to do the stuff that you're not good at. You have to practice it and become better. And I don't know. I was just getting bored with it, I think. After two nose videos, I was like, okay, well, I'm a little bored now, but that's not I guess the point is, when you're trying to learn, you just have to kind of just say, I don't care if it's boring, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'll be honest, I was bored with these. I haven't really been bored before this, so I wasn't bored at all doing the other stuff. But with this one, I was it was like less than exciting to sit here drawing, like 20 noses. But this is really what you have to do if you want to get better. So this is really more like almost like grinding, and it's like almost like a grind for me sometimes, and then study too. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to take photos of myself that were like all different angles, so that I wasn't just drawing the same view the entire time. So as you can see here, every angle is just a little bit different. And I'm writing my first note. I'm saying remember to draw guidelines first to help with proportions, because that really helps. I mean, if you draw, like I've been saying this whole time, if you draw something within a box shape, your proportions will be a lot better than if you just don't draw anything at all and then try to, like here I'm going to draw a nose, and then you can see a little bit of the bottom. So I drew, the bottom shape of it first. It just helps. It makes it a lot easier. Make your life easier, not harder. And so anyway, so here I'm just drawing, another angle. It's like a upshot or something. Yeah, it's an upshot because we're looking underneath. I did another one too, up above. But yeah, this is the stuff you got to do to get better. You really have to just say, I don't care if this is boring, I'm going to do it anyway. And that's what it takes, really. I mean, you don't get to where you want to be by doing nothing. So that's good life advice for many different areas of life. If you do nothing, you'll get 0 results. So I'm filming this on It's January 4th, and a couple days ago, January 2nd, I was watching the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals football game, and I watched what happened with Damar Hamlin. We all watched it live, everyone that was watching, and it's just a horrible, horrible thing. Horrible, horrible thing. I know that when this video comes out, it'll be months later, because this video won't come out until probably like April sometime. But I've got to talk about it because, quite honestly, I don't really have that much to say about noses, and other than what I've already said. And so let's talk about something else. And you can just watch me here, and then if you want to draw these, then pause the video. But yeah, so I went over to a friend's house, and we've been watching all the Bills games together because we're Bills fans, and because I live in New York, and it was gonna be a huge game, and it was gonna be this big matchup, and I was expecting, the Bills are gonna have a fight on their hands because Cincinnati looks like they're really going after it just as hard as the Bills are. And so I went over to my friend's house. It was, everything was normal. And then that play in the first quarter when Damar Hamlin got hit, at first we thought, it's just another, he's just hurt a little bit. He'll get back up. And he did get back up. He did get back up. He got up right away. So initially, I don't think that he felt anything. But then immediately he fell over. And I remember watching it, and come to find out, we learned that he actually died on the field because he had a heart attack. And they brought him back, so they were able to save him. But he did die. Anytime your heart stops, you're essentially dead. So it was just awful to watch, and I'm sure even worse to be a part of. And it hit close to home for me because someone in my family that I'm very close to, my brother just died recently, and it hit really close to home for me. So I don't know what you guys believe in. I don't know who's going to watch this. You don't have to believe what I believe, but I'm a Christian, and I believe that there's only two places you can go when you die, and one of them is called heaven, and the other one is called hell. And you don't want to go to hell. That's the place that you'll be completely separated from God for eternity. And I just thought it would be a good opportunity to offer a way out for somebody that might be struggling. There is a way out through Jesus, and that's the only way to heaven. I know we live in a society where anything goes. You can think what you want, you can do what you want, you can live however you want, but there is only one God, and his name is Jesus, and he's the way. And I don't know, I just had to talk about this because the world's going to hell. Would everyone agree to that? And not only is the world going to hell, but a lot of people are headed there too. And they may not know it. And even if they do know it, they're maybe too afraid to do something about it. Or they don't know what's going to happen when they die. And I can tell you that if you die without knowing Jesus as the Savior of your soul, you're going to be separated from God for eternity. And like I said, you can believe what you want, but this is what I believe. This is based on, the Bible, which everyone says is an old book that doesn't mean anything. But there's a reason why Christianity has been around for 2,000 plus years. And either, excuse me, either Jesus is a liar and he's completely making it all up, or he's right. So either he's a lunatic or he's correct. And I don't know, I just had to talk about this because, Damar Hamlin's sudden collapse has really hit home for me, and I just want to offer some encouragement, and I'm not afraid to talk about what I believe. I don't care if people cancel me. There's only one way to heaven. Everyone believes in heaven, but people don't want to believe in hell. Because hell is not a place where anyone wants to go. But I'm trying to tell you the way to not go there. There is a way to stay out of hell. It's through Jesus. And that's the way. People don't want to believe that. They want to believe that there's 100 different ways. Well, there are 100 different ways to the other place. But there's only one way that leads to life. And I don't know, I'm starting to preach now, and I'm getting way, a little bit more preachy than I wanted to be, but this is really bothering me, and I got to talk about it. And I mean, and then on top of that, we already discussed noses in the last video. So anyway, I pray for Damar Hamlin's family, himself. I pray that he gets better. I'm praying for everyone involved. And I just had to talk about life and death for a minute because it's a real thing. And it's something we all are going to have to face someday. And, with the fact that, my brother died recently, that's also partly why I wanted to discuss it. Like I said, you don't have to believe what I believe, but this is what I believe, and I believe it with all my soul, and I know it's true. And I just had to talk about it. Like, if you don't want to follow me anymore, that's fine. But I just had to discuss that for a few minutes. So anyway, I basically talked through the whole section where I put some color on the noses. And here what I'm actually doing is I'm drawing these noses from memory. Like, I don't have a reference for these. I'm just trying to make them up. And it's kind of hard to come up with angles that are different for the nose. Because like you only really see the nose in a few different angles. I mean, like maybe the angle might be minutely different, but it's hard to come up with angles that are like exciting. It's a nose. It's not really anything. The nose isn't all that exciting to me, in my opinion, but we still have to know how to draw it. So here I'm just making these up. What I'm trying to do here is draw the different types of noses that we talked about in the first nose video in episode 16, and I'm trying to draw some examples of what those would look like. And I actually had more fun drawing these than I did drawing the reference noses of my own nose. I had more fun doing these. So as you can see, it doesn't really take much to get a halfway decent nose on paper. And then if you start shading it, you got to think of the planes and everything like that. But and here I think what I'm doing is I'm trying to draw without guidelines. I always suffer when I do that. So I hope my little bit of a rant didn't completely throw you off. And if it did, that's fine. You don't have to watch my channel if it offends you or something. But it's been bothering me ever since it happened. It's been bugging me pretty bad. Especially because I just lost my brother, and it's been really hard. It's been very difficult, and I don't know, I just had to talk about it. It's kind of an odd video to start ranting about your religious beliefs in the middle of a nose video, but hopefully you're still watching. The other thing I want to say is this is a good thing. This is something that I realized when my brother died recently. When I say recently, he's been gone within the last couple months, so it just happened. No one is guaranteed tomorrow, and no one is guaranteed an easy life. In this life, we're going to have problems. That's a guarantee. So here what I'm doing is I just thought it would be cool to just do some black pencil over these so you could see them a little bit better. Like I said, I had more fun doing this page than I did doing the other two. And the other two I was using reference. So it was kind of fun to put colored pencil over these rather than just draw with gray pencil, because the gray can get a little but what's the word? Like, it can get a little stale at times. So I just decided to try to switch it up a little bit. But do you see how after some practice you can start making these up on your own? And that's the goal, is to not have to use reference all the time. That's one of my goals too, is to not have to use reference all the time. So yep, just putting a little bit of shading underneath, because you're always going to see a shadow underneath the bottom of the nose. Cast a shadow onto the upper lip. So anyway, that's going to do it for episode 17. Can't believe it's episode 17 already. Episode 17, How to Draw Noses, Part 2. I hope this video helped you. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more, share the video, share my channel with people if you think it'll help them, and I will talk to you in the next one. See you later.